Hitler and Mysticism, Hitler's interesting obsessions. Hello everyone, in our previous video, we talked in detail about Hitler's plans and interest in Agartha, which is believed to be an underground civilization. In this video, we will give you more detailed information about Hitler's curiosity about mysterious events, and we will talk about the theory that he is not dead. If your coffee is ready, let's start. 1. The Hitler didn't die theory. A lot has been said about Hitler. But the common opinion is that Hitler, with his wife Eva Braun and his assistants, first fled to Argentina, then South Pole, and then Buenos Aires, where it is said that he lived to the age of 90. As is known, Adolf Hitler committed suicide by shooting himself in the underground bunker Führerbunker in Berlin on April 30, 1945, and his wife killed herself too. But there are millions of people who believe that this is a hoax, that Hitler did not die in 1945, that he lived a modest life until the age of 90 and lost his life. So much so that in 1947, 51% of Americans surveyed thought that Hitler was still alive. It was said that there were many people in Argentina who claimed to have seen Hitler. The investigators of the History Channel's Hunting Hitler series also stated that they had found previously secret documents and met with people who said that Hitler fled Germany and went to South America by submarine. After the war, the Western Allied forces admitted that Hitler committed suicide, but they did not find enough evidence to support this conclusion. The skull believed to belong to Hitler, in 2009, at the University of Connecticut, was examined in an episode of History's Mystery Quest, and it turned out that the samples belonged to a woman under the age of 40. On September 25, 1945, Special Agent John V. Leperk of the U.S. Counterintelligence Corps in Austria gave a reliable report stating that Hitler went to Argentina. Walter Glockel, who is the personnel director of Steyr Auto Works, said that he had met with von Leon, who is the ex-director of Mauser Arms, in 1945, and von Leon told him that Hitler was living in a farm in Argentina called La Falda. Mr. Eichhorn, who is hosting Hitler, was an old German immigrant and was a supporter of the Nazi philosophy. He was a close friend of Hitler. According to von Leon, Hitler arrived in Argentina on a German submarine and had his face surgically replaced on the way. In fact, it is also among the allegations that Hitler used his full name as Adolf Schrittlemeyer, changing not only his face, but also his surname. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover said there was strong evidence that Hitler was in Argentina in a letter he sent to the American Embassy in Buenos Aires in 1945. And Walter said they were supported by Eichhorn. In documents published by CIA recently, there are writings that a former secret cop of Hitler said that Hitler was alive to an undercover agent codenamed Simlady 3. According to the documents, the soldier named Philip Citroen is said to have contacted Hitler once a month in Colombia. So these documents show that CIA didn't believe Hitler died and constantly followed his trail. Findings like this led not only the CIA, but also people to believe in the possibility that Hitler was alive. In fact, this has become such a widespread belief that it has also appeared in modern TV series, movies, and programs. In George Steiner's controversial novel The Portage to San Cristobal, at the end of the war, Hitler survives and flees to the Amazon jungle, where he is found by Nazi hunters 30 years later. In the CGI anime film Lupin III, the first, 2019, Interpol spreads a fake rumor stating that Hitler is alive and living in Brazil. In the 2020 Amazon Prime TV series Hunters, it is discovered that Adolf Hitler and his wife Eva Braun lived in Argentina in 1977. In other words, there are many tangible materials that the CIA has been focusing on for a long time that Hitler did not die in 1945. My opinion, I think he didn't die in 1945 and escaped. But because of his age, I don't think he's alive right now. As they say, it is possible that he lived until 90 years old and died in Argentina. 2. Hitler and UFOs. The effects of loss of the First World War was really bad. Adolf Hitler, who started Beer Hall Putsch, was sentenced to jail for treason and got the attention of the public. Sentenced to 5 years, he was released due to amnesty and got out of the prison in December 20, 1924. Due to the difficulties caused by social and economic unrest, the people's longing for an authoritarian management system was growing more and more. The German voters finally found the remedy for their aspirations in Adolf Hitler and his National Socialist Party. At least, they thought they were. Hitler and the Nazi Party had come to power in 1933 with the promise of making Germany a strong state in Europe and even in the whole world again, in line with the legal political processes of Germany, where social, economic and political turmoil reigned. Hitler, who requested being appointed as a chancellor, was appointed Chancellor of Germany on January 30, 1933 by German President Paul von Hindenburg. After President Hindenburg died in August 1934, Hitler declared himself the leader of Germany. From this point on, Hitler was the Führer and the dictator of Germany. In a short time, there were such positive developments in the field of science and industry that the country became what it wished for. It became strong. But how come a country which was in economic destruction and banned from making any war machines after the First World War became a country that made the first jet engine planes, Horten, the ancestor of ghost planes, rockets which are ancestors to missiles like Tomahawk and Cruise, and most importantly, the atom bomb? According to some people, Hitler's contact with aliens was behind this success. Among the allegations is that Hitler got into contact in the 1930s and somehow made a deal with them to use their superior defense technologies. In the previous video, we mentioned that UFOs are perhaps observation vehicles coming from Agartha. Hitler may have made a deal with Agarthans or creatures that came from space. Former CIA agent Virgil Armstrong, who also made statements about Agartha in this regard, said that Hitler had many technologies, including UFOs, and that he obtained this by making a deal with extraterrestrial beings. The aliens had asked Hitler for the German people as biological experimental material in exchange for their technology. Virgil Armstrong says about the deal, the aliens made the following offer to Hitler: "If you give us the German people as biological testing material, we will give you the technology necessary to win the war." In response to this offer, Hitler said, "No, no. I can't let you experiment on the Aryan race. But I can give you people, Poles, Russians, and Jews, in the camps." Indeed, many people in these camps had disappeared without a trace. Information. In the ideology of Nazism, people were divided into two groups: those who were of the Aryan, superior, race and those who were not of the Aryan race. The Jews claim that they lost 6 million people in concentration camps, but this is not true. According to the reports of UNO and other international organizations published after the war, the loss of Jews does not exceed 600,000. Hitler had given these people to aliens to use them as a biological research material. Even the USA President Truman had made a deal with the Greys at that time. There were two types of Greys. Bad Greys were usually small and at the height of a human. These were the ones who made a deal with Hitler. So, according to Virgil Armstrong, the Jews we know were burned in the camps were given to extraterrestrial beings as a test subject, and Hitler received many technologies such as UFOs in exchange for this. The fact that the Allies who occupied Germany came across UFO photos and drawings with Nazi symbols on them also supports this theory. 3. The Ark of the Holy Testament. This holy chest, which is mentioned in Holy Quran and the Bible, is of great importance. But what makes the chest so important? According to the belief in this chest lies the 10 Commandments of the Old Testament, a pot which has manna in it, Aaron's rod and book and items that belong to Moses and Aaron. And for some people it has the staff of Moses and the ring of Suleiman that was used to control jinns. According to the Jews, the Ark of the Covenant, which is a chest used as an intermediary to communicate with Allah, is also of great importance according to Islamic belief. According to Islamic belief, the Ark of the Covenant was buried and will be removed from the place where it was buried by the Mahdi, who is expected to appear in the end times, and this Ark will be a symbol of his reign. Their prophet said to them, "The proof of his kingdom is the coffin. There is a sense of security and peace from your Lord in it with the remnants of the family of Moses and the family of Aaron, and the angels carry him. There is indeed a sign in this for you, if you are believers." Surah Al-Baqarah, 248. When Israelites came out of Egypt, there were nothing in this chest except of 2 plates which Moses put in them. Old Testament/Histories 2. Also in Exodus 25 verse 22, the Creator said, "I will meet you there, among the angels above the Ark of the Covenant, and I will give you commandments for the Israelites." For this reason, especially in the Jewish belief, the Ark of the Covenant is the place where the Creator was physically found, and its importance is great. But have you heard that the Knights Templar turned Jerusalem upside down to find this Ark, which has an important place not only for Judaism, but also for Christianity and Islam, and that secret services such as the CIA and Mossad had special troops to search for the Ark? Besides, even Adolf Hitler made great efforts to find it. Everyone tried to find this chest from time to time. Some people said it was in Istanbul, some people said it was in Mount Sinai, and some people said it was under the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Of course, Adolf Hitler was among them too. Hitler, who believed that the country that owned the chest would not lose any war, had gone to great lengths to find the chest. With the first Indiana Jones film, The Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was published in 1981, Hollywood began to introduce objects of ancient and unique power into popular culture, which the Nazis were chasing after. In the film, a special Nazi archaeological excavation team together with its soldiers are after the Holy Testament chest in which the 10 Commandments are hidden. According to the rumor, the inside and outside of the Ark of the Covenant are 24-karat gold plated. It is said that the chest has great power. The Ark of the Covenant was not the only supernatural object the Nazis were after. In order to win the war and establish superiority over the opposing countries, finding objects with many mystical properties that embody parapsychological qualities was one of the main goals of Heinrich Himmler and Hitler. Heinrich, who was obsessively interested in esotericism, provided the necessary resources to set up special teams from Hitler, who was as obsessed with mysticism as he was. But according to official records, the Holy Chest had not been found since the BC 587, and Hitler and Himmler had not achieved success in their search for Crazy Super Soldier Project. Although Hitler and the Nazis had many interesting experiments and projects, this is perhaps the craziest one of them. It is known that the Nazis were doing all kinds of experiments to be more militarily efficient. But this medication that was found to be more successful in the Second World War overshadowed them. Yes, the name of that drug is Pervitin, to which hundreds of thousands of soldiers were addicted. Information: the drug called Pervitin was a drug that allowed soldiers to fight longer, not feel pain, and stay awake for up to 36 hours. This drug, which delivers methamphetamine to the body, gives a person high self-esteem and causes high dependence, as it causes the release of dopamine. Methamphetamine caused intense energy, ecstatic pleasure, and complete euphoria, but it also led to staying awake for days, disconnecting from reality, and sometimes leading to a complete psychological breakdown. Pervitin, which was first used in a war with Poland, made soldiers who were fatigued became vigorous and much more energetic within 1 hour. Deciphering the records of the German army, we know that between 1939 and 1945, exactly 200 million Pervitin pills were distributed. The nickname zombie soldier, which was given to the Nazis, also appeared with the effects of the Pervitin pill. Because when the Nazi soldiers who took this medicine were surrounded by the Red Army in January 1942, no Nazi soldier felt cold air, even though the weather was -30 degrees. 5. Metaphysics. Nazi Germany, which was also closely interested in matters such as invisibility technology, time travel and dimensional jumping, conducted deep studies on occult, mystical or metaphysical topics. The most mentioned organization in relation to these deep and secret studies was the Thule organization. Thule, the most mysterious organization in this regard with its esoteric teachings, had many goals, such as communicating with superior creatures that travel back and forth in time or finding the Moose civilization. The main reason the organization chose Hitler was because of his many characteristics, as well as his interest in time travel. In addition, Hitler was a fanatical enthusiast of esoteric teachings. He had a curiosity to stand out, to be a hero. These characteristics of his were the biggest factor in Thule choosing him. Hitler's interest in ancient civilizations and mythologies also coincided with Thule. The most interesting thing was his curiosity about magic because he wanted to rise above the laws of nature. Hitler also had a psychic trait. It is said that his intuition was very strong, and he even survived many assassinations by feeling in advance. There were also many psychics in the town where he was born. The town was the center of secret teachings and witchcraft. Due to the fact that he was born and raised in such a town, it is known that Hitler also had metaphysical abilities. It has been recorded that he speaks of many beings that only he can see, that those around him do not see. It was even suspected that he was schizophrenic for this reason. It is said that Hitler received mysterious information at night from a disembodied being he called the Great Spirit. After this information, Hitler was likely to be dragged into a great mental confusion on issues such as magic, myths, the Great Spirit, the continent of Mu, Thule, time travel, Agartha and Shambhala. So much so that Hitler began to believe that he was the chosen one and firmly adhered to the idea of world domination. Perhaps the reason for all this was that Hitler was hypnotized and directed by the Thule organization. The belief system adopted by Hitler was the pre-Christian German pagan faith. Could he have done some of the mass killings he did for the magics? Hitler, who knew that powerful weapons and technologies were needed to dominate the world and rule it from a single hand, was ready to try everything for this goal. According to some people, Hitler collaborated with the evil. In ancient Babylonian culture, torture was not only used to punish the guilty. Sometimes it was done for very dark reasons. Sorcerers sacrificed to the devil both in order to be able to prophesy and to awaken the dark forces and use them according to their own wishes. Hitler, just like the sorcerers of Babylon, sacrificed people to the devil, perhaps trying to get what he wanted. Adolf Hitler, who was about to lose the Second World War, wanted to mobilize extraterrestrial forces. He was killing the soldiers he took as prisoners, massacring Jewish, Gypsy, homosexual prisoners held in concentration camps en masse. He wanted to use these terrible massacres to disrupt the balance of the earth and bring its energy in a way that would serve in the direction he wanted. Hitler joined the Thule and Viral, the dark sects we have mentioned, in order to use ancient knowledge for his evil ambitions. We talked about the Thule organization. The purpose of the Viral organization was to make use of ancient knowledge to the fullest and build machines with superior features that no one else had, and to manage people. Already at that time, the engines, weapons and aircraft developed by Nazi Germany were 2 or 3 times ahead of normal technology. Jet engines, unmanned aircraft, and UFOs produced by proved that the development of technology was with the help of extraterrestrial beings. Hitler aimed to realize his dreams by using these two dark organizations and sacrificed millions of people for their goals. Hitler, who had access to the ancient knowledge by the sects, unfortunately couldn't win the war and dominate the world. Viral and Thule, thinking that Hitler was out of control and thinking about the potential to destroy humanity, had led Hitler, who had turned into a monster even worse than themselves, to defeat by thinking it was almost too much evil. Or the good power in the face of the evil power he served did not allow it. Remember that evil is a short-distance runner, but goodness runs marathons. After all, no man can live forever, can't it?